was turning around, I dug my front steers into the dirt about a foot. I felt a little bit of resistance in the truck, so I pressed the gas pedal and I laid this post down onto the ground. In this video, I want to talk about how I got into car hauling at age 21. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Jenzi channel. If you are new to my channel and you are not yet subscribed, hit that subscribe button. We are at 500 subscribers. I just want to thank you guys so much for that. It is a new year, it is 2023. I hope all of you guys achieve your New Year's resolution. My New Year's goal is to grow my YouTube channel. I would like to make more interesting videos, better quality videos. So if you guys have any video suggestions, drop them down in the comments below. I read all you guys' comments. I try to reply to all the comments. It is a Tuesday morning. It is the first week of the year. I am back out here. I'm hustling. I'm getting things done. We are headed from Kentucky and we're going to Orlando, Florida. I had a great 11 days off and now it's time to get back to work. In this video, I want to talk about how I got into car hauling at age 21 and why I chose car hauling and not drive-in, reefer, or flatbed. So I woke up this morning at 4 a.m. I left the house around 4:30 and we drove out at 5 a.m. Let's get this video started and let's have a great day. So it's a new day in 2023. It's my first work day and we are driving past Atlanta. We've been working hard today. We started at 5 a.m. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about how I got into car hauling at age 21. It all started when I was 18 and I wanted to get into the trucking industry. I was too young to get my CDL. My dad did box trucking. He had a box trucking business and he had another truck. So I drove for my dad as a driver on a box truck for a year and a half. And at age 18, I got married. Once I got married at 18, I quit box trucking for about 2 to 3 months. I was trying to do some other work, but nothing was paying me as good as box trucking did. So I got back into box trucking and I actually bought the box truck from my dad. I box trucked for another 3 years until I turned 21. I drove a Chevy Express 3500 15-foot box and I had a built-in sleeper in the back. It was a great start. It got me to where I am today. But the plan was once I reached 21, I would get my CDL and I would get into trucking. How that all came about, my older brother was already in the industry. He started car hauling also at age 21, I believe. And he worked for this great company out of Kentucky. He got the connection for me. He was a great worker. He talked to the company and they had a position waiting for me as soon as I got my CDL. It was a bit of a mission to get my CDL because I had to do the test 2 times. Even though I passed the first time, I still had to go back and do it again. It was kind of a nightmare because I was doing it out of my state. I live in Lexington, Kentucky, and I had to go to Missouri to do the test in Missouri. I did a mistake and I didn't do my research. So I went to do my CDL test in Missouri, which was just the parking part, the driving driving part and the pre-trip inspection part. I got my permit in town. I trained mostly off of YouTube. I got my permit pretty easily, and the final step was to get my CDL. So I traveled to Missouri in my personal vehicle, and the reason why I chose Missouri was because there was a great CDL training program in Missouri where they had a day cab truck with a 30-foot lowboy trailer. So when you're backing up with the trailer, you can just look out the back window, and it's a lowboy trailer, so you can see where you're parking really easily. The other bonus was it was a manual, but it wasn't a 13-speed. It was a 6-speed manual. Same thing that you have in a regular 6-speed manual car. So it was a really easy manual to learn. That's why I went to do it in Missouri, because I didn't want to have any automatic manual restrictions on my CDL. So I went to do the manual test in Missouri. Once I did my test, I passed the test, I got back into town. But the issue was, I did the test before I turned 21. And since I did the test out of state, when I am legally not allowed to drive in any other state with my permit, when I brought my CDL certificate into the DMV office, they checked the dates and they said, we're not giving you your CDL today. And this was on my birthday. I was really excited to get my CDL on my birthday and go to get training 2 weeks right after my birthday. But once they told me that I can't get my CDL today because I did my test before I turned 21 out of state. And I was shocked. It was a nightmare. I spent all that time. I spent about $600 on the CDL test for the training, for the test, $600 on that part. And they told me that it wasn't a valid certificate because I wasn't 21 and I drove out of state in Missouri to get my CDL test. So they told me, you're just gonna have to go back in and redo it. I tried my best. I called that place. I asked them to write me up a new certificate to just put a different date on it. I was good for it. I passed the test, but no, they said, that's illegal, we can't do that. So I had to schedule another test, which was a month out. I drove to Missouri again. I passed the test again, second time, so I'm double experienced. I passed the test, I got back home, went to the DMV office right away, got my CDL done, and I was ready to hit the road. I did 2 weeks of training with my brother. He trained me top notch. No shortcuts, no excuses. He got it done. And I was on the road, third week of driving. I went by myself. I started in the winter, so I started in November. And I've never driven a semi-truck in the winter. So when the winter came, I had to be extra cautious because of the snowy roads, the snowy weather. Currently, it's been 3 years and I've been driving for the same company. I've had exponential growth with them. We have mutual respect. I have had a few hiccups here and there. For example, my first winter, I got stuck in the snow. I came into a parking lot that was all full of snow, and I was unloading at a Carvana, but they told me I can't unload there at night. So they brought me into this parking lot and they left. And there was another car hauler there, but he was empty. It was nighttime. There was another car hauler parked in that same parking lot spending the night because Carvana was closed for deliveries. I had to wait till the morning. So I got into this parking lot and I had to do a U-turn, turn around, and park facing out. As I was going to do this U-turn, I was following the other car hauler's tire tracks. But since he was empty, he made it fine. And I couldn't see where the concrete was. So as I was turning around, I dug my front steers into the dirt about a foot. I was stuck. It was all iced up behind me. I turned on 4x4. I couldn't get out. It took me about 35 minutes of wiggling back and forth, turning the steering wheel right and left. Finally got out. That was my first hiccup. A second hiccup I had with my company, I got into a brand new truck. I was in Michigan. I was loading up, and there was this spot that always had this broken lamppost pole. And this broken lamppost pole was pretty low, and if you parked in front of it, you can't really see it in front of your hood. But wouldn't park in front of it because that lot where I loaded was pretty busy. And that's the only spot that nobody would park. So I would always park in front of that post, and I would always drive around it. But this time, I just totally forgot about it. I parked in front of the post. I got loaded up. I go to drive out, and since I couldn't see the post as I was already driving out, since my hood is long and tall, I pushed into the post. I didn't hit it hard. I was rolling. I rolled into it. I didn't hear it hit anything, but I felt a little bit of resistance in the truck, so I pressed the gas pedal and I laid this post down onto the ground. I'm not proud of it. It was a really dumb rookie mistake. My company is really understandable, but they work with me for that issue. So within the 3-year time process of me being in this company, I've learned a lot. I've got better with my safety. The #1 goal for car hauling is to get out and double check all the time. If you're not sure of something, you gotta get out, you gotta check. If you forgot that you did something, just get out and double check. If you're pulling up to a bridge and it says 13.8 but you're 13.9, get out and check. Measure with the height stick. I've never had any issues with hitting anything, being too tall. I have been pretty tall, but the route that we go on, we have a pretty stable route where we know all our bridge heights and where we go, how tall we can be. And that's pretty much a summary of how I got into car hauling. So as a 21-year-old driver, I started driving a car hauler, and I was doing my first year driving week on, week off. And my week on, week off looks like this. I drive Monday through Friday, and I'm home every weekend. So I would have 9 days off in between each week. I did a whole year of that, and then my second year I started doing 2 weeks on, 1 week off, and I have been doing that for the last 2 years. So I've been driving in this company for 3 years. I really enjoy it. The pay is great. The company that I work for is really stable, and they have been for the last 3 years. They've been growing. They recently got into dry-van business, and they have been looking for drivers for the dry-van industry. So with car hauling, you technically need 2 years of experience, which is 2 years of owning a CDL. The only reason my company took me in as a 21-year-old driver is because of my brother, who they trusted. He showed them his great work ethic, and so they decided to hire me as well, because we're brothers after all. Now that I've been car hauling for 3 years and I haven't been looking for anything else, I always hear from my other buddies about them driving dry vans or flatbeds or step decks, and I haven't wanted to switch, not even once. It all comes down to the pay. With car hauling, the pay is always more than dry van, than reefer, than flatbed. No matter if you're a owner-op or if you're a driver. Yes, with car hauling, there is more hassle. You gotta work more, you gotta hustle more, you gotta move around, stay active in the cold and the rain. It has its ups and downs, but I enjoy that type of work. I don't like to sit in a dry van and drive all day. I like to get out there, unload, load up, break a sweat, because I used to drive box truck and I did a lot of sitting. I gained a lot of weight. At one point I was 215 pounds. I wasn't feeling so good. I was tired all the time until I got into car hauling and started wiggling around, moving around a bit more. I lost weight, and I actually went on a keto diet where I lost 35 pounds in a month and a half. And that was a great change in my life. I'm really happy for that. I'm really proud of that. I feel a lot better. I feel great. I'm happy that I joined car hauling. The pay is great. The schedule is great. I'm home every weekend. I'm home in between my 2 weeks of driving for a whole week. We pass through home a lot, so I stopped by in Lexington. Overall, I've had a great experience car hauling. I wouldn't change it as of yet. And comparing car hauling to dry vans or reefer driving or flatbeds or step decks, I have buddies who do most of that, and I know the pay that they talk about. The schedule is always a little bit mixed and matched. Unless you find a great company locally in your town, you won't come home that often. So with my car hauling experience, my car hauling company is out of my hometown, and I'm able to make it home every weekend and I'm able to stop by home through my routes that I do. I don't ever leave for multiple weeks or months. I'm home within every 4 nights. And the pay comparable to car hauling, it just pays more because you got to do a little bit more work, but I don't mind doing that extra work. And in my case, the drivers that I've compared my pay to, the pay is sometimes half more than what a regular drive-in driver gets or a reefer driver gets. Because the regular truck driver gets paid by cents per mile, and that's usually an average between 60 to 80 cents per mile. With car hauling, you get paid percentage. You can get paid anywhere between 26 up to 35%, depending on which company you're working for and how stable that company is. So you get paid between 26 to 35% out of the gross that the truck makes in a week. So the truck can make anywhere in between 10 to 15,000 in a week. Sometimes more, sometimes less, depending on the economy, depending on the time. So you can do the math. The average car hauler gets about 30% pay. So if you do 10 to 15,000 gross in a week, you can do the math on that. That is why I do car hauling. I enjoy it. I have no regrets, and I wouldn't change it for any other trucking job. So for all this, you gotta have motivation. You can't be lazy. You gotta get out there. You gotta put in the work. I have been working hard. My company has been doing a great job at keeping me loaded, keeping me moving. But that is just some basic stuff about car hauling, just in case you didn't know. So I'm gonna continue driving. I got another hour or two before I gotta stop and do my 30-minute break. And I already have a place to do that. So let's just keep working. So it is time to do my 30-minute break. I'm taking the exit right now. I'm gonna park next to a Chick-fil-A, get some food, and take a 30-minute break. We have parked. Just check out this back window. I got no car on the bottom. I got a Pacifica up on top. And then I got a Dodge Durango in the belly of the truck. Let's go check out the truck. See what we got loaded up on it. We are in Georgia, and we are driving the truck with the silver grill up in the front. So this is what we got on the truck today. Chrysler Pacifica, Durango, Pacifica. My 360 camera. This thing's pretty cool. You can pretty much hang it anywhere on the truck. It's got a clamp. And I just got my Chick-fil-A. Had a nice little break. Let's get back on the road rolling. It's been a long day of driving, guys. I'm still rolling. It's about to get dark outside. So the plan for today is to make it to my drop-off. I'm about an hour and a half away. In about 20 minutes, I'm actually gonna have to stop to fill up because I don't have enough diesel or DEF. So I'm gonna stop, fill up. Then I got another hour after that. I'm gonna be on my drop. And today I'm gonna drop this load off my truck and drive somewhere to a truck stop to sleep. Alright guys, so we have made it to our drop. I pulled into a parking spot across the drop-off point. Parked next to some bushes. Later, once I'm done unloading, I'm just gonna have to back up across the street. And my brother's supposed to pull up here in a couple minutes and he's gonna park on the road. So I already got 2 cars unloaded. My brother pulled up. He's unloading in this left lane. I pulled off into that parking lot to give him some space to park here. We're working hard. That's another perk of the job. You get to work with your brother. Nicest truck in the company. Second nicest truck in the company. All right guys, I'm fully unloaded. I'm ready to head out of here. My brother still got 2 cars to unload. I'm gonna have to back up onto the road. It's gonna be kind of a sketchy backup because I'm not gonna be able to see what's going on this side because there's a bunch of bushes here. So I gotta back up either straight into there or back up into there and then go straight that way. But let's do this. So there's nowhere to park. This is where my brother parked. I just helped him back up to that curb in front of the fuel islands. This is the only truck stop within a 100-mile radius in Florida. So what else are we supposed to do? There's me looking all silly by the weight scales. I got as close as I could to the pumps. Half on the curb, half on the bottom. This is literally the only spot that we can park at. Pretty close to the curb. In the morning, I'm just gonna have to back up a little bit. No parking, no issue. Got it figured out. Let's go grab a shower and get to bed. And that's gonna be it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We are almost at 600 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. It was a long day. It was kind of a boring day. Just too much driving. All I did today was unload. Tomorrow morning is going to be a little bit more hectic. We're going to have to load up in Georgia and drive all the way to Chattanooga, unload in Chattanooga 2 drops. But that's going to be for tomorrow's video. Stick around. Don't forget to like, leave a comment, and have a great night. See you guys tomorrow.